All right, so let's hit the spinal cord. So this is a dissected out spinal cord and a zoomed in spinal cord. So what we can see is white matter, meaning they contain what is called myelin. They're covered by myelin. It's this fatty insulating layer. It also has proteins in it that is going to increase the transduction or the transmission of an action potential. So all of those words might sound super foreign right now. We'll hit them in lecture very soon, but we're just going to talk about the structures for right now. In the middle, we're going to have what's called our gray H. These are unmyelinated neurons, axons of unmyelinated neurons, as well as cell bodies that are responsible for relaying signals either from the periphery, which is outside of our spinal cord or our brain, either relaying them from the periphery into the central nervous system or from the central nervous system out. So we will have a couple different horns. Number 7 is an example of our ventral horn. So ventral is another word for anterior. In the central nervous system, we use ventral instead of dorsal because in utero, we were not biped yet. We were quadrupeds, okay, so on all fours. This is going to house the cell bodies of motor neurons. All right, so the neurons that are responsible for relaying signals saying, contract your bicep, grasp this pencil. It's not a pencil, a wood stick. Things like that. Okay? So the signal is originating in my brain, in the voluntary cortex, even though I'm not thinking about it. It's going to go down from my brain, through my spinal cord, out to my hand to talk, because that's what I do. Okay? And it's going to come down, out, leave. If I want to send, I don't know, if Maggie snaps me, or whatever that is, I feel that as a sense. That's painful. That information will be relayed in through, this is called your dorsal root ganglion, this little bulb right here, number 24. This is where the cell bodies of sensory neurons will be housed. That will then be relayed up through the dorsal horn, up through the spinal cord, into the correct area of the brain. Okay? And then number 6 here is what's called our lateral horn. Okay? This is where our autonomics will go through. Okay? And our autonomics are those things that we have no control over. Heart, lungs, digestive system, reproductive organs, things like that. Okay? So if we're talking about general somatic afferent, somatic means voluntary. Okay? So skeletal muscle, things like that. Afferent is sensory, meaning if it's general somatic afferent, I'm feeling a sense in my muscles. That's painful. That is hot. That's cold. That's whatever. Okay? General visceral afferent. Visceral has something to do with my guts, my organs. Afferent, same thing. That's a sense that's coming back to me. Somatic efferent, that's sending a signal to something that's voluntary. So I'm sending a motor command to my muscles, to telling them to contract. It's exiting, that signal is exiting my brain and spinal cord. Okay? General visceral efferent, we have no control over this, but a motor signal is being sent to my viscera. So, for example, my vagus nerve is telling my heartbeat to slow down, to not go as fast, because if it continues going this fast, I'll have a heart attack and die. That's it.